Well, we've got somebody here today who is not new to automotive, especially for me. Tom and I were near neighbors in our dealership days, on the same stretch of road in Virginia Beach. But now we're both on the vendor side. Are we the and and we thought we'd do a little highlight of what Tom does and how important it is, especially like over the last 6 years. There's been so many things that have occurred and are on on the roadmap for the future that are kind of concerning. And Tom's a help. So Tom, who are you?
Well, first I want to tell you how happy I am to be here. I brought my my little automotive friend. Well,
Yeah,
thanks
gotta
guys
have a
for having
wavy arm guy.
me. Yeah, you can have a desktop one now, as it
I
turns
know.
out.
It's funny. I got mine up
Right,
there on the
Jeff?
shelf.
Yeah, let's just get back. Um, well, I am Tom Kline. My company is called Better Vantage Point, and I'm kind of a dealer bodyguard, is what I do. I have a consulting business, and I was a dealer for 30 years. Uh, I was what I would say, former dealer or reformed dealer. I'm not sure which one is more appropriate. So I've been in the
Warmer.
industry. um, I've been in the industry now 35 years. My family's been in the industry for 100 years. Literally, this year is our 100th anniversary. So I'm
Wow.
a third
Congratulations.
generation car guy. Yeah. Um,
How do you
and so
celebrate such a thing?
you get up and go to work, just like you, Jeff. You just get up and you go to work.
Excellent.
Uh, but I help dealers with risk and compliance, and so kind of the umbrella here is that I help them keep the money they make so that the gross that they make up front doesn't walk out the back door. And all of compliance is not it's not just straightforward. It's not just black and white. There's a lot of gray, actually. And so, my job is to help the dealer maneuver and kind of walk the tightrope of what it means to be compliant and how that works, and where where the black areas, where the white areas, and where you can kind of walk the fine line. So I've been doing that for 6 years now.
I like that description of being the dealer's bodyguard.
Hmm.
You fend the lawyers off, right?
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, if you're doing risk right and you're actively managing those areas of the business, it's easy to install and not easy to keep these things going on. But once you do, you should be able to keep the lawyers away. I mean, that is the whole point. Making sure that you have the right guidebook. Make sure, because problems come on, I always said problems come on two legs. It's either customers or it's employees, and that's 80% of your problems. And if you are handling those problems, then you're going to avoid the most costly ones.
Ooh, and now I got to know about the 20% are. What kind of legs do those have?
Yes.
Or are
That's
those
under
on
the
tires?
do happens is what the 20% is,
Mm.
uh, and you have to be prepared for that too, because it comes in so many different ways and so many different uh, methodologies. And I mean, it can come from regulators, it can come from lawyers, it can come from just about anywhere. So you just have to be prepared for it and make sure you have the right policies in place and the right procedures in place, and that everybody knows what to do. So, for example, if the local news or the national news comes rolling up to your dealership, does anybody know what to do with them?
Hmm. Good
Mm.
question.
Right?
Guess it
Um,
depends on why they're rolling up.
well, that's a different problem. But when they roll out and the lot attendants there washing a car, and they say, "Hey, there, George, do you know anything about Mrs. Jones's car that's been here for 3 years and hasn't gotten fixed?" And he says, "Oh yeah, it's right over there, and everybody knows about it, and we just can't get it fixed." Right? So that's not what you want when the news rolls up.
That sounds like George.
And everybody
So,
has a George, right?
well,
Mm-hmm.
was it a George that got you into this?
Oh, it was George and Ralph and Sam and Susie and Molly and Corky and all of them. Uh, as one of the owners, uh, all the problems came funneling to me, and so the way I got into it, of course, is I didn't want to live in a world of doo doo all day, every day, and so I figured the best ways to put procedures and policies in place so that we didn't have problems. And so that's why, all the customer problems came to me and all the rest of the problems. And then, part of that is if something catastrophic happens and you have a large claim, whether it's a class action, whether it's just the numbers are big, do you have enough insurance? Do you have the right insurance? And so, not that it was fun, but I began to read the insurance policies to know what we were paying for, and that's how it all started. And so I've been doing it for, I don't know, 20, 25 years now. And the risks change and the policies change, but at the same time, fundamentally, it's still the car business. So the risks are identifiable and easy to digest and easy to understand if you're um, listening to the information that's coming at you all day, every day.
You mentioned insurance, and I think that sort of gets overlooked. At least I overlooked it when I first heard you were getting into this and offering this to dealers. But you helped us in my technology business in sorting through some insurance and figuring out the right levels for us. So, like Tom can, he's not just a dealer advocate, but he can also help any of the companies that are servicing dealerships with many things.
Right. I mean, I think insurance is overlooked. I think everybody knows it's a pain in the neck. Everybody hates going through a renewal. A lot of there's some good agents and there's some not good agents. The not good agents present you your renewal numbers 24 hours before your renewal, where you don't have a chance to maneuver, ask questions, look at the policies, understand the numbers, ask if there's different ways to save money. And just, I mean, literally 48 hours ago, I had an insurance company who shall remain nameless, but who's a little infamous on how they do business. They presented to a dealer and they said, "This is your total package, and your total package is $80,000." Was the number. This is a single point dealership, small single point dealership,
Oh.
and they said, "Okay," and that was $30,000 less than the next insurance company. They said, "Okay, great." And then when they were presented with binding, they said, "Oh, well, the total package doesn't include the dealership open lot or your physical damage, and that's 30,000."
Wow.
So it happens every day. This was literally
Really?
48 hours ago.
Hmm.
So you have to know how to maneuver with those things, and by reputation, which insurance companies are still the same. They've still been doing business the same way for the last 30 years. Uh, and and you have to know what to ask for. Ask for those insurance quotes 60 days up front. And if they won't give them to you, then go on to the next insurance company, because you should be able to sit down and calmly, quietly figure out what they're asking you for and what you're getting in return.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A lot of reading through those policies, a lot of, I don't want to say fine print, but man, the way they word some of that shit.
It's tough. It is
Yeah.
tough. And listen, it's not fun work. But if you want to know what you're paying for, instead of just writing, and I have clients who write seven, eight, $900,000 a year for their insurance, right? So you want to know what you're going to get for that almost $1 million. And that's one of the things that I, will help dealers with.
Such a value. What other things are you doing, Tom?
Well, right now my phone's ringing because of the recent FTC action. I'm not sure if you
Mhm.
are aware of that, but the
Oh yeah.
FTC sent 97 dealership groups, not just single point dealer, but groups, warning letters about their advertising. And the FTC is saying now that any advertising by car dealerships should include any and all fees in the advertised price, with the exception of government fees and taxes. So that means that doc fees, processing fees, depending on which state you're in, should be included in the advertised price. And if you have hard ads, they should be included in the advertised price. That the price on the website, your website, as well as third party websites, should be the same price that's on the physical vehicle. That's the same price that's quoted by the sales manager. That's the same price that's quoted by the dealer business center. That's the same price if you call up and say, how much is the jalopy? That all those numbers are the same. And so dealers are obviously concerned about this. This is a big change in how they're advertising.
Yep.
And as I said earlier, the key here is where is the gray area, right? What can you do to make sure that you can still have the lowest price if that's how you want to do it, or if you have your home of the warranty and you give lifetime warranties on the on the engine and the powertrain, and make sure that that value prop is out there, and how that's sold to make sure that you can maintain gross while still being compliant. That's what I'm hearing all day, every day, since May the whatever it was, a couple weeks ago, or March, a couple weeks ago when they announced it. So that's what my phone is kind of ringing, and that's what we're talking about at the moment.
And
We're in the
one of
midst
the
of making that change on our dealership website right now. Yep.
And and when you have to make that change, right, Jeff? I mean, you don't want to be the first one to rush to it necessarily. You can choose to rush to it. Um, it depends on your risk tolerance as a dealership and what you are interested in doing. Some
Got April
Good.
14th.
What's April 14th?
I believe that's the cutoff date, at least in the state of Maryland. It's got to be done by then.
I haven't heard April 14th.
Yeah, I'll have to pull it the notice up. But yeah, I was reading through it, and changes need to be prominent on the dealership websites. Any and all advertising. Final price has to include any dealership processing fees.
Is that from the state of Maryland?
I'd have to double check, but for some odd reason, I'm thinking it was.
Yeah, I haven't heard about any state up until now. I haven't heard about any
Yeah,
states giving
I
further
could be wrong.
guidance.
well, one
I
of the
do know.
things that you pointed out the other day in this regard, Tom, was um, how dealers are thinking about updating their website, like Jeff is here. But you were advising some on LinkedIn to also look at Auto Trader and Cars and Car Gurus and all these other third party sites, because the government could go in and audit them and then just see, has the prices matched between the website and what they're showing on these third party sites at any time. You'd never know they were doing it.
Correct. I mean, I don't have official word of that, but I do believe, based on some of the regulatory actions they've taken, that they have software now that captures these third party sites and that your site. And so by the time they come into you, they already have the information. And they already, based on state records, they can tell whether you were selling vehicles at that advertised price. There's one dealer group um, who has an open action that they said that there was a large percentage of customers who they determined paid a lot more than the advertised price. And by the time they went in to see that dealer, um, they already had the information and said, "Look, we already know X percentage of the your customers paid more than the advertised price." That was part of the allegation. So we know that that's happening.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the April 15th, I'll take that back. I think that's just an internal note. We want to make sure, because we've got a few dealerships under the group, that by April 14th it's completed.
Yep, and that's understandable. April the 6th, the NADA is having a webinar with the FTC. And then later in April, the NIADA is having a webinar with the FTC. So we'll see what information is forthcoming from that, whether there's clarification on various topics. There's some states, for example, Connecticut is one, I believe Washington State is one, and I think Tennessee is one, where you're specifically not allowed to have the processing fee be part of the advertised price. So those dealers in those states are like, well, now what? What am I supposed to do? I don't want to get caught between the state and the federal government. So
Yeah.
there's still some clarification to be given.
Only one answer there. No processing fee.
That's not going to happen.
That's
Yeah,
not going to happen.
but
I was going to say
but
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I have seen several dealership groups in the last 48 hours advertising our all-in price and no hidden fees, and and those types of big banners on websites. So that is a way that some dealer groups are choosing to address this.
Well, Tom, do you have a rundown of the services that you offer? Could we?
I can share my screen here.
Oh, perfect. I think more than ever, dealers can use somebody like you.
Thank you. What I do is I go in and assess where the risk is, assess kind of the leaky bucket kind of assessment, and go in and see where the potential problems are. And I'm not going to read through this, but basically what I do is go in and start at creating a more proactive compliance program to make sure that the dealer's risk is minimized. And that's done, as we mentioned earlier, that's done not only with insurance, and I'm not an insurance agent, I'm a consultant, right? I'll read through and give recommendations on limits and policies and that kind of thing, including insurance that will protect a dealer if a regulator comes in. And then I'll train the staff. I advocate for monthly training, the staff for compliance training, because after all, nobody, as human beings, nobody likes compliance, right? It's not something that the dealer wakes up and goes, I'm ready to comply today, right? I mean, if you want to find out how popular compliance is, tell your significant other, wife, lover, whoever it is, I'm going to be home at 6 and I want you to have dinner waiting for me and you need to comply. See how that goes over.
There was a day.
Compliance and freedom, they're just two opposite words, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, as human beings, we don't like to comply, right? Nobody likes to be told what to do. And all the rules and regulations, and these are always evolving. Nobody likes it, but it's a very important part of making sure that the dealership is protected or the dealership group is protected. And one question I ask dealer groups, and they say, "Oh, well, we have a software program that does this, so we don't need to talk about this." The one question I always ask them is, do you have anybody at the store level actually doing audit work and reporting that back up to someone? And the answer 9 times out of 10 is no. In which case I say, well, then you don't have a compliance program, at your store. You have software, but if you don't have the human beings who are actually doing the work, reporting back, and then keeping a diary or an electronic record of the fact that you're checking, because the first thing when a regulator comes in is you want to be able to say, come on in, sit down, let me show you all that we do here for compliance. And after 3.5 hours, they go, okay, I get it. on this one problem, please make sure you take care of it. But we get that you're trying to comply, that you have a compliance program. And interestingly enough, by the way, there is a section of the law where a judge has to consider the efficacy of your compliance program before he sentences you criminally, right? Some of these laws have criminal implications. And part of the mitigating circumstance is, do you have a compliance program? Are you actively looking to root out problems? And that's literally in the sentencing guidelines. So, I mean, all this is woven into the fabric of uh, the law, and it's incumbent upon business owners to make sure that they take this stuff seriously.
That's why I gotta sit through those hours and hours of training every year.
That's right, and it's terrible, and it's
It's
terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, but the problem is, Jeff, that the non for non-compliance, the FTC penalty for 2025 is $53,088 per violation.
Wow.
And there is a vice president at a company who the FTC is still arguing with. The FTC went after him for $216 million. Personally, went after him for $216 million. And that all they did basically is take, what is, I can't do the math in my head. I think that's 4,000 deals times $53 is about 216,000. They said, okay, well, you did the same thing over and over wrong for 4,000 deals, and so we're going after you for
Wow.
216 million.
Come on now.
So these things happen, and they happen every day, and so um, I'm just reporting the news, right?
Yeah.
Well, Tom, how can somebody get a hold of you?
I'm all over LinkedIn, Facebook, so you can find me either one, or my phone number, which I'll give you here, is 757-434-7656, is the best way to get me.
All right.
Your
You prefer
URL.
calls or texts?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the red phone after my name on LinkedIn, and I try to answer my phone all the time. So whatever's more convenient.
Perfect. Well, I think that your services are more needed now than ever.
Oh goodness.
So, yep.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't. I can predict you have a team within the next few years.
It may happen. It may
Yeah.
happen.
Well, Tom, thanks for coming on and making everyone aware that you exist, because they need to find you.
Thank you for having me, Alex and Jeff. Always appreciate seeing you.
Absolutely.